Hello and welcome to today's yoga session where we're focusing on core strength. So I encourage you to come down to seated position. We're going to make it a quick and short, effective session. So get comfortable in your seat bones, hands on your knees. Make sure that your feet are really tucked underneath. And deep inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Then I want you to turn over to the left hand side with your head, keeping your shoulder blades down. Back to center, and then turning over to the right. And back to center. Head all the way up and behind with the mouth slightly open. Back to center, and then chin all the way down to your chest. And back to center. Bring your arms all the way up to the sky, link them in together and push up and away so that your arms are really close to your ears, tucking in your stomach. And then release. Now we're going to come on to our hands and knees into tabletop position. Bring the right arm up to the sky and bring it down all the way underneath. Then all the way up to the sky and all the way underneath. Then all the way up to the sky and then down underneath. And I invite you here just to stay and straighten out your left arm in front. And coming back up, releasing the right arm, bringing the left arm up, bringing it all the way underneath. Then all the way back up, all the way underneath, and all the way up, all the way underneath. And I invite you to stay with the right arm out in front of you. Inhaling in and out. And coming back up onto tabletop position. From here, the right arm is out in front of you and the left leg out behind you. Bring the elbow in towards the knee in the center and pushing all the way back out. Right elbow to left knee and pushing all the way back out. Then right elbow to left knee, holding, and then all the way out. Releasing the hands and the knee. Now the opposite hand, the left arm out and the right leg all the way straight back. Then bringing the left elbow to the right knee so that they're touching in the middle. And then all the way back. Left elbow to the right knee. All the way back. One more time. Elbow to knee. All the way back. And release. From here, tuck your toes underneath your feet and push your hips all the way up and back into down dog, walking your feet out. And from here, come up onto your toes and shift your weight over into plank. Holding the position, pushing your hips up and back and into down dog. And inhaling up onto your toes, shifting over into plank. And exhaling, hips up into the sky and into down dog. One more time, inhaling up onto your toes and into plank. Exhaling, hips up to the sky and into down dog. Breathing in and out. Then slowly walk yourself to the top of the mat. Then we're going to do a quick flow. So come all the way up and all the way down. Halfway up and release. All the way up, little back bend. And all the way back down. Walk yourself back to plank. And down to chaturanga. Up to upward facing dog. And back down to downward facing dog. Walk your feet to the top of the mat. All the way up. And all the way back down. halfway up, and release. All the way up, little back bend, and all the way back down. Walking back to plank, down to chaturanga, up to upward facing dog, and back down to downward facing dog. Walking to the top of the mat, all the way back up, all the way down, halfway up, and release. All the way up, little back bend, all the way back down, walking back to plank, down to chaturanga, up to upward facing dog, and back down, downward facing dog. One last time, walking your feet to the top of the mat, all the way up, all the way back down, halfway up, and release. All the way up, little back bend, all the way back down, walking yourself to plank, down to chaturanga, up to upward facing dog, and back down to downward facing dog. Walking the feet out, catching your breath, walking the feet to the top of the mat, releasing the hands, holding the elbows, turning side to side. Then from here, release your hands and bring them underneath your ankles, bending your knees as much as you need so that your knees are on the chest. And only when you feel comfortable, you can try and straighten out the knees. And if you want to advance the pose more, you can also bring your head to your knees or to your shins. Then releasing the hands. We're coming all the way up into chair pose. So you're really sitting down as if you're sitting on a chair. When you look down, you should be able to see your toes. So if you can't, try and bring yourself even further back. Arms facing up, and you're looking just slightly down in front of you. Breathing in and out. Then release all the way up. Coming back down into forward fold. Walking your feet out into down dog. Raise your right leg up into the air into three-legged dog. Then bringing the right knee up and over to the left elbow. And then bringing it all the way back up. And then bending it over and bringing it down to the right elbow. All the way back up. And then one more time to the left elbow. And then all the way back up. Releasing the right leg onto the mat. Bringing the left leg up into the air. Bending it, bringing it through to the right elbow. All the way back up. Then bringing it back down to the left elbow. All the way back up. Bringing it down and through to the right elbow. All the way back up. Releasing it down into down dog. Then the right leg up into the air again, into three-legged dog. Bringing it up and through onto your left toes. Up and through, bring the right knee to the nose. Then all the way back. Then bringing it up and through to your nose again. All the way back. And up and through towards your nose. All the way back. Releasing the right leg, bringing the left leg up into three-legged dog. This time, bringing the left knee through towards the nose. Up and back. Then through towards the nose. Up and back. And through towards the nose. And up and back. Releasing the left leg down. Going to come up and over into plank. Simply holding it here. Pushing up and back into down dog. Then up onto the toes and into plank. Then hips up and back into down dog, then up onto the toes and into plank. Raising the hips, up and back into down dog. Then up onto the toes, into plank, and from here come down onto forearm plank and hold here. Tucking in the core, steadying the breath. And then coming up onto plank and back into down dog. Up onto the toes, shifting the weight into plank and coming down onto forearm plank and holding it here for a few breaths. Coming back up into plank, pushing back into down dog. Breathe in and out. Then up onto the toes into plank, coming down onto forearms. This is the last time, holding for a few breaths. Back up into plank and push back into down dog. Shifting the weight onto the toes and coming up over into plank, then shifting the weight onto the right side. So all of the weight is on the right arm and the feet are stacked. So the left foot is stacked on top of the right and the arm is up and towards the sky. Just holding it here, breathing in and out, tucking in the core. And then shifting back into plank and opposite side. So the left arm and the right foot is stacked on top of the left foot, right arm up to the sky. It's okay if you're shaking, this is quite normal. Just shows that you're getting stronger. Then back into plank, into down dog, bend your knees down and into child pose. Then coming back up into down dog, shifting the weight onto the toes, into plank. Then we'll do one more time onto the right hand side, feet are stacked, left leg on top of the right, and the left arm up to the sky, tucking in the core and really holding the stable pose. Breathing steadily. Back into plank, turning onto the left hand, left leg is underneath the right foot and the right arm up to the sky. And coming back into plank, lowering the knees and back into child pose. And coming up into seated position, the last pose of the session. So you simply come onto your sit bones, raise your legs into this half bend and bring the arms out in front of you. And if you want to advance the pose, you can straighten your legs up, really tucking in the core here. And even lowering yourself a little bit just to feel it that little bit more. And bringing your knees in, giving yourself a little hug. Breathing in and out. And one more time, bending the legs, arms out side by side, and straightening the legs. and bringing the stomach just slightly back. And once you're done shaking, you can bring your knees in towards your chest. And then just simply come down onto your back, rolling out your spine, giving yourself a little massage with your spine onto the mat. Your right foot onto the mat, left foot on top of the right knee, and then hook yourself underneath the right leg, using the left elbow to push away the left leg, and just bringing a stretch in towards you. And then releasing the leg back onto the mat, changing so that the left foot comes down onto the mat, the right foot over on top of the left knee, and hooking through the underneath the left leg and bringing this stretch a little bit closer to your chest. And then releasing the stretch, bending the knees, bringing it in, giving yourself just a little bit of a hug, rocking yourself from side to side. Releasing the legs onto the mat, straightening them out. Arms next to you, palms facing up, closing the eyes. Coming into Savasana just for the last minute of the session. Taking a big deep inhale through the nose and releasing through the mouth. Thanking yourself for the time that you took to complete this session today. Strengthening the core, the foundation of your strength. Inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the mouth, relaxing into the mat. Bringing your right hand onto your stomach, your left hand onto your heart. Feeling your breath up and down. And when you're ready, you can bring your knees in towards your chest. Rock yourself back up into seated. Deep inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Thank you very much for joining me for this short core session. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I'll see you at the next one. Namaste.